Good evening. Tonight, the Challenge Cup takes us to the west coast of France to see whether Les Maritimes can get revenge on the Cherry and Whites. It's round 4, and it's La Rochelle versus Gloucester. Well, there's the starting lineup for La Rochelle 9 days ago. Well, it's had a makeover from then. There's 6 personnel changes and 4 positional changes. The backline completely revamped, bar the wingers. Brock James replacing Zach Holmes as playmaker. Aguillon and Jourdan, the midfield duo for him, with Murivalu back to add more danger from 15. Ngovo and Eaton swap places in the second row and back row. It's the same front row, though at the back of the pack, Victor Vito takes on the responsibility of number 8. These, of course, back-to-back fixtures in the European season, so always fascinating to see how events at Kingsholm 9 days ago will play into the match equation tonight. Well, Gloucester made 10 changes going into that game, and they've kept the same fluidity this week. Only Tom Savage and Josh Honeck remain in that pack. All Blacks, Arthur and Thrush are back, along with the experience of Hibbard and Morgan. There's some consistency in the backs, it has to be said, with numbers 10, 12 and 13 remaining constant. They'll have Gloucester legends Sharples and May to utilise out wide, with James Hook as the link man there. 22-year-old Callum Brayley starts at scrum half and leads the team. A big honour and responsibility for him. Well, plenty of tactical options for both sides on those benches. Noticeably a 6-2 forward split for Gloucester. That may well be indicative of the fact that Jeremy Thrush is back for his first match of the season. Well, last week it was the home side that held out firm. 35-14, that result at Kingsholm. Looks like the same colours this week. Gloucester wearing their, should we call them Richmond colours? Certainly not Cherry and Whites this evening. A reunion of plenty of ex-Hurricanes players there, with Jeremy Thrush and Jason Eaton, just 2 of the 4 players. Put Victor Vito into that mix, of course, and Josh Honeck as well has been around that Super Rugby scene. John Afoe, of course, as well. But of course, the key thing, certainly in the first 10-15 minutes, is to see how the history, how the knowledge from last week at Kingsholm plays into the tactics for tonight's match. There's Richie Hibbard back in the starting lineup, having just signed a new contract with Gloucester.
Nurse, you got me all right?
Brock James in his first season with La Rochelle, having spent so much time, of course, in Clermont's colours. A Welsh triumvirate, in fact quartet of officials. Ian Davis leading Dan Jones and Simon Rees as assistant referees, with John Mason, the television match official for this evening.
Time on, Sheila, please.
So a big game in Pool 1. Gloucester looking to continue this incredible run of form that has seen them unbeaten in their last 23 pool games in this tournament. The flip side to that is that La Rochelle have only lost 3 of their last 33 at the Stade Marcel de Flandre. One of those games, of course, was that Gloucester matchup from 13 months ago now. And they came, sought and conquered. Billy Burns, man of the match last week. His kicking strategy was so crucial to the way the game flowed. The ball coming into Charlie Sharple's mitts, but the referee will bring play back. Yes, Billy Burns rightly nominated as man of the match, but he's got to make the right calls at the right times here this evening. It's been a beautiful day, but the pitch is a little wet, a little damp, plenty of moisture around, so I'm not sure how well that ball will stick this evening.
Is that what you're moaning about?
Alexi Valles wearing the number 9 shirt for the home side this evening.
Crouch!
The backup scrum half, so no signs of Ricky January in tonight's matchday squad. First call goes to the Gloucester pack.
Pushing straight down, 3. Long and stay square. You're driving straight to the floor. Back you go. You. You're on the arm, drive, pushing down.
Winnie Antonio told to square his body up, and it's somebody, isn't it? 152 kilos in a 6'5" frame.
Stay longer, you're driving down.
Billy Burns making his 12th start in the fly-half role for Gloucester this evening.
Miss, can you hear me?
Really seems to have taken on that responsibility to the manor born. Another 22-year-old, both
John, so you're aware
Braley
that
and Burns
I
were
can't hear
part
you
of
at
the
all, okay,
2014
I'll just
England
get it sorted
under-20
after.
side that won the Junior World Championships. Indeed, Braley was the captain of that side, though he didn't actually play in the final, and a certain Maro Itoje wore the captain's armband down in New Zealand on that day. But Burns certainly was a
Sleepy
key
or not,
figure in that
you're in
win
John
over
either,
South
are you?
Africa.
You can't hear John? Okay.
And a key figure, no doubt, this evening as he steps up for this first pot at the posts. Perfect start from Billy Burns. Perfect start
off, you
for
please.
Gloucester. I think we're just going to check the communications. Plenty of West Country accents in the stands. It's a very popular trip
I have no contact
to
with the
this
TMO.
part of the Atlantic coast. As
TMO, I can't hear him.
this
The video, yeah. I
seaport
can't hear the video.
on
Can you
Bay
hear
of
me now?
Biscay
Can
in
you
the
hear me
western
now?
France
Yes, I got you. Thanks, John.
coast, somewhere between Nantes and Bordeaux, if your French geography needs a little sharpening up, perhaps.
Which way are you going? Left. Time on, please.
So Brock James with the restart. James has pretty much been sharing the 10 berth with Zach Holmes this season.
Advantage Gray.
Eaton moving it on to
Advantage
the
over.
Australian fly-half, and a lovely delicate dab there from Brock James to make sure that they can put some pressure on this Gloucester line-out for the first time this evening.
That's middle.
A clean take there from Lewis Ludlow. Thrashed the target, safe and secure.
back.
The All Black second row providing the possession for his forwards. Braley checking out the geography. Lacroix finds Johnny May coming up fairly quickly to snare his opposite number. Jordan, nowhere to go through there, but staying strong in the tackle. Johnny Ngovo in the second row this evening, wore 8 last week. Antonio gets the offload, and suddenly there's a bit of a flow and momentum to the home attack. James losing the ball though. Those gloves not good enough this evening.
Knock on, scrum, Gloucester.
There we
Let's
saw
just
the
go longer
forwards
for me, okay?
working the
Okay.
ball so quickly between themselves, and a real sign of the threat perhaps to come. They certainly have been a revelation in the top 14 this season. Bar the first 2 rounds back in August,
Good,
they've
Andy.
been in the top 4 on every single occasion since, and indeed top of the log on 2 of those rounds. 4th at the moment. But they really have got some momentum into their play, some belief. And certainly the crowd
Bind.
believe that they're going to be in the playoffs come May time.
Hold.
Penalty goes the
Down
home
under
side.
pressure, 1.
And Brock James already limbering up at the back there.
Pressure's come on, he's gone down.
There's Antonio, the French international now of some 20
Much
caps.
better. 3, good work.
Having represented the Samoan under-20s
Say that
in
again.
La Rochelle back 5 years ago now. And going to be quite some challenge for Josh Honeck, the Gloucester loosehead this evening. Brock James already with 91 points in the top 14 this season for his new team. 23 points in this tournament. But only kicking at 70%, and the top range kickers now all have to be 80 plus. So he'll be wanting to make a firm, solid start from the tee tonight. No problems there.
Make sure it goes off the field first. Make sure the ball goes off. Okay. Cheers, mate. On when you're ready.
So the opening exchanges producing points for both sides. And now the team's looking to settle their attacking games into operation. They've had well over a week, of course, since that clash at Kingsholm. That was a Thursday night game.
Come in.
So plenty of time. Interesting to see the team selections as a consequence. You might be excused for thinking they'd go for more consistency. Both of them with 10 changes one way and another in their lineups for this evening's match. And, interesting to see whether that turns out to be a tactical call or just a rotational call.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Again, the home pack putting enormous pressure on their visitors. Sharples appearing as the first receiver. Burns trying to use the bigger frame of Mark Atkinson. 6'5" and 108 kilos, not able to make any headway there. Good work from the South African centre, Jordan. Passionate following in these parts for their rugby.
Well, tell him to hurry up, okay? Be quicker. Hey? No.
Just be quicker. Just asking if you can keep the Lucy's head off his boots.
Your loose head? The flanker? Okay. Yeah, no worries, thanks.
Jeremy Thrush, his first appearance this season, had a calf problem in pre-season that just wouldn't right itself. And they were so keen and eager to get him back, but they've had to be patient. Such a big player in every sense of the word for Gloucester. Little dab over the top from Brock James. Nobody looking at the ball though, and it was Matt Scott who reacted first. Just as well for Gloucester.
Touched!
Burns kick, touched in flight, so Lacroix will have to play this.
It's been touched by grey, Dan, okay? It's been touched now by yellow.
Murivalu's kick coming off a Gloucester thigh. Both kickers just being a little languid, perhaps, in their exits. There's Vincent Rattez, who played fullback last week.
That's middle.
Shirt.
How many, Gloucester? 6. That's middle.
Ludlow. Burns. Atkinson throws a horrid pass that his team had no chance of getting. And Aguillon up against Johnny May. Murivalu's interested. Sharples his back.
Time off.
What's the call going to be here? Is this off the ball incident, perhaps? Let's have a listen.
I just want to check the actions of the retreating Gloucester player, whether it's shoulder to shoulder or it's a deliberate shoulder charge off the ball, please. Okay, we'll have a look at it now. Thank you.
So the first work for John Mason this evening.
Just checking the shoulder charge by one of your players.
That all came down to that awkward pass from Mark Atkinson. Let's have a look at it here. Hurling it away, no chance for James Hook. The hack through from Lacroix. May Looked pretty much shoulder to shoulder, didn't it? Crowd obviously not happy with it. Let's have a look here. May and Aguillon fully committed to that. Couldn't see. There's a nudge, I suppose, from the Gloucester winger.
John, have you got the wide view of that?
Yes, coming up here now.
Okay. Okay, John, for me, I think the Gloucester player there has changed his line, but he's done so in order to make a genuine attempt to play the ball.
I would agree.
Yeah, so therefore I'm going to restart with a scrum where La Rochelle were last in possession. Is that right?
That's correct.
Which is under the sticks.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Captain.
So both Gloucester
Jason,
wingers working hard to just seal that danger, but it's going to.
Seen there, okay. I think the Gloucester player is making a genuine, realistic attempt to try and change the scrum to get the ball. Therefore, we're going to restart with a scrum only. No, for yourselves who are in possession, okay?
Is it not? Did they not knock it on, sir?
No, there was no knock on there, John, was there? It was simply the ball's knocked back. Is that right?
It's gone back, yes.
Yeah, okay. All right. Fine, John, just make sure there wasn't a knock on, in which case it's going to be a Gloucester ball back where the thing was, okay? Just check whether there's a knock on.
Officials just trying to
Thanks,
get their
cheers, Simon.
story and timeline sorted out. Ian Davies, at the insistence of Callum Brayley, just checking to see whether this was a knock-on from the hand of Pierre Aguillon. Here we go again. This is the bit here. Is it May or Aguillon? Oh, it's Aguillon, isn't it?
Forward off a grey hand, yes. It's
yeah, it's going to be Gloucester scrum put in just outside the 22.
Yeah? Oh, yeah? Yeah.
You see that?
But just a word of warning for those Gloucester backs to make sure their passing is accurate this evening.
Let's stay in the second row, okay?
Atkinson and Scott looked in good form, in good battle last week at King's Home. Both of them scoring tries.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Honeck looking quizzically at the referee.
Pardon? He's just pulling straight down. His first actions are pulling down.
You can see it fairly vividly there, can't you? The loose head, not able to cope with the bulk of Antonio. And let's face it, it's a fair amount of bulk coming through onto one shoulder.
That's the first angle. Keep him high.
And James already in good form off the tee. As La Rochelle move in front for the first time in this game. That's what Patrice Collazo will have hoped and demanded from his team. Obviously unhappy last week. May well have seen that little video of the La Rochelle head coach kicking the ice bucket at half-time. Very annoyed him. Interesting to see the La Rochelle team selection for that game. So often in this tournament, they haven't picked their strongest team, but that was a strong lineup they sent to King's Home. Eaton taken high by Honeck. Referee playing advantage. Ngobu not taking the ball. Lacroix finding no way through, so they'll go back for that high shot on the La Rochelle skipper.
You okay? 3. At these scrums as well. Let's just keep your legs a little bit closer under your body, okay? Hi.
Kiwi on Kiwi. Plenty of Kiwis around in the mix, of course, in this game. Vicar Forbes, the La Rochelle hooker, along with Winnie Antonio, of course, familiar figure in New Zealand rugby. You can add in Eaton and Vito, of course, in the back row. And then you look at the other side and you see the likes of Honeck and Afoa, Jeremy Thrush, of course. Joe Latta on the bench this evening. Willie Hines, of course, the former Crusaders scrum half. Antonio, crash ball, Charlie. Forbes sets it back for his scrum half. Alexi Velez not throwing the 50-50 pass. James getting it wide to his tight head, but there was nobody inside, and it's the fly half that tries to pick up the pieces. Antonio just apologising to his teammates there.
You okay? Okay. Come on, sunshine, let's go.
Let's go then, way forward. Win the 6.
Just legs a little bit high. Your arm longer, your legs underneath you.
Let's go, boys.
So, quarter of an hour gone in this game.
Just keep him
very little between these two sides.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Brayley puts in, but again, a huge shove coming on. The ball's gone back. One against the head for La Rochelle. Victor Vito.
Okay.
Gets things flowing down that left flank. Rates feeds on. Antonio again. Eager to get ball in hand. Palaez no way through, but Rates makes a little headway. Brock James, a little bit of indecision there, just allowing Gloucester to get themselves back into position. They're going to get the put in any case.
He's trapped, he can't go anywhere, okay?
What an impact Victor Vito has made. 2 times Rugby World Cup winner, former Canes flanker, really a sign of the times for La Rochelle. They're beginning to spend big now as they look to press on to establish themselves in the top 14. And as a consequence, of course, in Europe too.
Crouch.
That's a word that Luke McAllister may be coming to join the party. Another Kiwi, of course. As of next season, Zach Holmes has already announced he's going to Toulouse.
Stay up, stay up.
So a like-for-like swap in prospect there. James with a little kick pass for Rates, but easy for James Hook to eat his opposition winger there. Vito again. Look at that Gloucester back row, and apart from Morgan, it's a relatively rookie lineup with the likes of Jacob Rowan and Lewis Ludlow. Talented players that they are really going to have to man up and start well this evening. No Ross Moriarty in the squad, he's been rested. Lacroix going through. Hook has to take his man down, holds tight. Rates trying to find a way through. They whisk it out to the left, but it's a hit and hope pass. Murivalu. They go again, just looking to see what's in prospect. Was that high on Jourdan? The crowd thinks so. Oh, the little show and go from Alexi Velez. First real opportunity for the home side to get over the whitewash. Brock James, another kick pass, and up and under, finds his hooker, and Forbes. Oh, I think Johnny May has done wonderfully there to get the hooker out the way. Forbes appeared to be having that one on the plate. May covered him back, but they're going to go back for that high shot from Jeremy Thrush. real sense of excitement in the ranks. Let's just have a look here. This was James trying to work the first position. There was the break from Lacroix. The two wingers combining couldn't find a way through. And in the end, it was their auxiliary winger, Nico Forbes, who thought he had the opportunity. There's the high shot from Thrush.
There's no...
And here's the opportunity. Look at the work of Johnny May. Good leg drive from the winger. But the danger is not past. Plenty of line-out options for La Rochelle this evening. So much height in the ranks. There's Romain Sazi, he's 6'6", but it's Victor Vito, slightly shorter, who is the target. As Jason Eaton feeds back to his hooker. Hooker Forbes.
Off his head!
Gets the leg drive going.
Out.
Goes again, is he over? Gloucester having to really work hard in defence to hold their hosts out.
Look at whether 3 yellow made a tackle from an offside position.
Foa may have stepped up too quickly. But La Rochelle continuing to play.
Yeah, okay, got him.
Murray Murivalu having to take it standing still. Lacroix goes for gold and gets the medal.
Time off.
Looks like Gabriel Lacroix has got his 6th try of the season.
I'm asking yes or no.
Try What's yes the question?
John?
Got you.
Try yes or no, please.
We'll have a look now.
That looks good, although you can't see his trailing leg from here. This angle may give us a better idea. It's the right leg, I think, that's the issue.
Happy there, John?
That stays up. Tries good.
Right.
There's the confirmation. Well, we've had to wait to the end of the first quarter to get the first try. But the home side showing good ambition. And good execution, ultimately.
Good advantage down now.
Lacroix just signed an extension to his contract for Les Maritimes. Very popular character. James unable to hit the target with that one, but they'll be quite happy to have got that first try on the board and pulled themselves into an 8-point lead. What a finish it was from the winger. So many Gloucester defenders coming across. The opening was narrowing with every step, but what a finish from Gabriel Lacroix. Marcel Deflon has really got this reputation for being a fortress. And you look at this season, 3 teams have come and drawn games. Clermont-Auvergne, Toulon at the beginning of October, and their last game was the champions Racing 92, scoring in the 80th minute. Nyanga going over, and the conversion from you-know-who made it a drawn game, but the other 6 games,
how many
home games have resulted in home wins.
Conan, how many? 6.
Thrush leading the way forward.
Not held.
Good work from Ben Morgan to muscle his way up towards that 22. Tom Savage. Billy Burns just testing out that fringe defence. Not the biggest of fly halves, of course, Burns, but he's got to turn the pace on him should he get the opportunity to use it. Savage again. Honeck, no way through. Braley spins it out again as the crash ball is this time Matt Scott. Tries in each round of this European competition so far for the Scotland international. There's his midfield colleague, Mark Atkinson.
Advantage.
Lazy pass from Braley. I think he might have been interfered with as he's going to get that ball away.
Lucky boys.
But good continuity from the visitors, even if they're not going to have the chance to finish things off.
Okay.
Let's go. Easy out. Come on, Ed.
Same hard work again, the two of you, okay? Crouch. Bind. Set.
Again, that La Rochelle pack, so solid, so powerful, allowing Vito to pick up from the back. James working off his weaker foot, but executing the exit in good style.
CB, come here. Do some of this cable. Got a bit of tape or something?
Another big house at La Rochelle. They made 9 sellouts, complete sellouts last season, and there's been plenty more this.
Is good with the video?
It's good, yeah.
You look at
Good for you.
the Gloucester form on the road. We mentioned the La Rochelle home form. Well, Gloucester started so well away from Kingsholm. A draw at Worcester, a win at South Sharks, another draw at Sandy Park, the home of Exeter,
Time on, Jill.
and then a win, of course, in this competition at Bayonne, 47-27. But then losses at Northampton twice, 2 different tournaments, and at Saracens. So they will be very keen, if they possibly can,
That's okay. That's
to
backwards
get
off Gray.
victory here this evening. Johnny May with the burst. Atkinson trying to allow James Hook the way through. Hook in his last season with Gloucester. Already announced he's going back to the Ospreys. Richie Hibbard won't be joining him. He's signed a contract extension,
Tackle!
so quite happy with his life with Gloucester, the Wales hooker. Scott, certainly enjoying his life with his new team. Ever present this season, Matt Scott. Savage making some headway. Burns to Scott. Scott gets the offload in. Braley has to work hard to get the ball back.
Back you go.
Thrush leading that phalanx of forwards. Afoa, got to be careful he doesn't get isolated, but options both sides for the visitors. Ludlow. Again, trying to flow to the right. Braley does well to keep that going. Ludlow resets again.
Stay on.
Quick committee meeting before they go again. Oh, Thrush
Advantage.
loses it in the contact. Big hit from his fellow countryman. And they get the penalty as well. Good defence from La Rochelle.
Hold on.
Jason Eaton and Jeremy Thrush, old teammates, of course, with the Canes.
Sorry.
Well, the Gloucester attacks, not producing points on that occasion. And Rochelle's defence up to the target. There was the busto from Johnny May. Just has that little bit of difference, doesn't he, as a winger? Never quite sure what he's going to do.
How many?
Marvellous acceleration. The work of Tom Taylor, the attack coach, Tim Taylor, I should say. Getting Gloucester into attacking position, but no points following. They do look to pick up a loose ball there.
Scrum. Yellow.
Go again! Win the six now!
Yeah, it's good.
Let's go.
Yeah, it was very good, yeah. You happy? Yeah.
Must be saying something for Ian Davis, the referee, to ask Winnie Antonio if he's happy. But he concurred.
Time it. Crouch. Bind. Set. Yeah, well.
Again, that Gloucester pack under tremendous duress. Burns. Good safe take from Vincent Rattez.
I've got 20 here. 20 here, chop! Chop, Sam. Stay out, Mike. What's 9 up here? I've got chop. Jake, I've gone! Get them, 10! 20!
Straight off your feet, 4. Stay up.
Coming off his feet was Johnny
4,
Ngobo.
straight off his feet.
Lack of discipline there from the big Fijian is going to allow, well, you would assume that Gloucester will look at points
Shot.
from this position. Billy Burns already nailed one. Wasn't sure whether Burns or James Hook was going to be the lead kicker for the visitors this evening. Burns was certainly lining things up well in the warm-up. And he's got the call first up.
Yes.
Juice.
Okay.
Brother Freddie unable to take part in that game at Welford Road this afternoon.
Yeah, it was fine the
The
last one.
Tigers just managed to hold on to victory over Munster with that 54-metre kick from Owen Williams. Burns a little bit closer for this one. But still on target. Half an hour gone and just 5 points between the two sides.
Sleepy, both sides, are they tight around the fringes? Both sides? Yeah,
Gloucester's season really has been so consistently inconsistent, same as it's been really for the last couple of seasons perhaps. Apart from one round, they haven't been able to break into the top half of the Premiership table. Had some big performances without being able to string them together back to back. So the final 10 minutes of the first half. Awkward take from, I think that was from Lewis Ludlow, did very well to pull it in.
Who's it?
Marivalo with his foot in touch. That was a good work from the Gloucester number 6. Looked to have just misjudged it from the restart. There he is. And under pressure from Paul Jourdan. Did well to hold on to the ball for his side. There's the La Rochelle number 6, Romain Sazi. James with the bust. Out to Rattez, Victor Vito. Yet to open his account for his new side. Aguillon driving forward, Jourdan. Gloucester desperately trying to slow things down. Antonio doesn't have chance to rev his motor, but sets the ball back. Forbes denied in the right-hand corner earlier on.
Yellow.
Gloucester have gone offside, but it doesn't matter because Marivalo's over.
Advantage over.
Kini Murivalu, try number 4 for this season for the Fijian fullback. And a big score right towards the end of this first half. Big psychological swing goes to the home side. James it was with the break. Rates in support. And then they kept that flow going. They kept the handling skills in position and in place to ultimately set the ball back for the fullback to slide his way over. The final cut and thrust from the Fijian number 15. James with a simple chips shot to add the extras to that scoreboard. But this is the confidence that La Rochelle have been playing with this season. The capacity to move through the gears so quickly and efficiently. And a great finish from Murivalu to make try number 2 and add a bit of security on that scoreboard, unless Gloucester can do something before the break. Valles with a very accurate box kick. Rates can't get underneath it, but it's Corbell who picks up the scraps. And suddenly La Rochelle really have the wind in their sails. James again looking for the corner. May was anticipating that one though. Well, the kick tennis doesn't really make any headway for either side, but Gloucester know that they could really do with some points before half-time.
Tell you now. How many yellow?
La Rochelle really seem to have discovered their mojo in the last 15 minutes or so. Thrash can't get his hands to it, and it goes back on the home side. Ngovo, the monster second row, sets it back for his scrum half. James out to Aguillon. Aguillon was trying to get the ball through the tackle. Lacroix picks up the pieces. The referee says play on. Victor Vito down that left flank once again.
James, just calm it down a little, all right?
Everything just bubbling up a little bit towards the end of this first half now. But again, Vito with that different dynamic to be able to appear on those outside channels. Savage brings that one in into the final 5 minutes of this first half. And it's a half really that's belonged to the home side. The odd 5-minute spells from Gloucester. Rates calls and claims, gets the offload away. Good hands from Brock James. Try scorer Lacroix, making a bit of headway. James changes the option. Charlie Sharples back in defensive mode. Doesn't make too much yardage gain though. And the crowd getting behind the home team. The Jaune Noir right away through the stands in fine voice.
How many?
And
How many?
confident mood
6
after
plus
what
8
they've
is
seen
7.
in this first
6
half.
plus 8 equals 7.
6 with the 8.
Step out.
Good take from Eaton. Sazi.
Round.
There's Forbes to take over. Well, they don't mind how their tries are scored in these parts as long as they are scored. Forbes releases Aguillon. The forward Clermont centre sets it back again.
Okay. Do you mean yellow, yeah? Okay.
Options left
Can't
and right.
advantage.
But again, Gloucester stepping up offside.
2 seconds, 2
Ian
seconds.
Davis, I think, is having his patience tested here.
Okay. Captain. For me now, we've had too many offsides when we get into this area of the field. Okay, any more? And you're risking losing players. It's number 11 on this occasion, okay? But the previous one when they scored, I think we had 12 or 13. It's becoming a trend now as soon as you get into this area of the field, okay? Thank you.
Johnny May, the man on that occasion, but as Ian Davis says, it's becoming a trend
It's a penalty
inside the
for
Gloucester
11 offside,
22.
and I've told them about the trend that's happening into this area of the field, okay?
So what does Jason Eaton
Offside.
do here? Just conferring with his forwards. How do you feel about another shove? When they're going to go for a line-out setup, I think. Yes, here they go.
Okay.
Into the final 2 minutes of this first half. And already a potentially big play coming up in this match. The former Waikato hooker finds the former Kane from Taranaki second row. Forbes with a little help from his friends. Over the line, and there is the third try. Absolutely nothing Gloucester could do once it was set up. And Forbes denied in that corner earlier on in this half. Has the flags waving as he finishes things off
Shall I go
right
back
at the
to
end.
penalty or do you want the try? Okay.
The work of Accenti Giorgazzi, the forwards coach for La Rochelle, paying dividends there.
Oh, yes, please. Thank you very much.
See Forbes getting himself into position, but it was the forward power ahead of him that made that try.
Sleepy, have a word with number 8, yellow there, not to pull the leg in the maul, number 8. He's behind you, I think, isn't he?
Well, it's a happy Saturday night for the locals. This is everything that Patrice Colazo could have asked for from his team on the back of the disappointment from King's Home, when for the most part, certainly in that second half, La Rochelle dominated territory and possession without being able to turn it into points. They have executed very, very efficiently this evening so far. Brock James swings it through just a little bit too far on that occasion. But that's the half-time whistle. A very profitable first half for the home side. 3 tries already in the bag for La Rochelle. They are. So welcome back to the Stade Marcel Deflandre. Last week at King's Home, it was the home team leading 22-7 at the break. This week, it's 23-6 to the home team, who have been pretty much in charge of the first 40, give or take, and certainly with 3 tries already in the bag, we'll be more than happy with the way that the game's panning out.
Captain, right?
Looks like we've already got 1 change on the Gloucester side. I think Mariano Galazza's on into the second row. I'm guessing for Jeremy Thrush, who who's making his first appearance of the season this evening. Yep, there's Gloucester in the blue scrum cap, missing that first ball.
Scrum.
And it is indeed Thrush that's absent. I see Jan Thomas already also on into the Gloucester front row. There he is.
Yeah, okay.
He's on for Josh Honeck.
Yeah. How are you? You good? Stay long.
So
stay
what
up.
has been
Okay.
said by David Humphreys, Laurie Fisher and co in the hutches at the break?
Crouch.
Certainly
Bind.
couldn't find any real continuity in their attacking moves, bar a 5-minute spell in the middle of that half.
Perfect. Let's get your bind earlier, okay? Hey? A joker, yeah.
Let's go, John. You go, John.
Yeah, inside, yeah. Crouch. Bind. Set. Stay up.
Well, that scrum looking decidedly more solid for Gloucester. Braley wanting the security, finding a fence
backing
in
up.
front of him. Good work from Charlie Sharples. I think it probably edged forward, yes indeed. Sharples, of course, was one of the try scorers when Gloucester were last in town 13 months ago now.
Just make sure there is no ruck. Good
7
scrum,
starters today
Please, are you?
that were here on that occasion. 5 of the La Rochelle side began that match that ended 33-20. Ben Morgan actually opened the scoring with a quite
Crouch.
brilliant try from the big number 8
Bind. Set.
on that occasion, but Gloucester yet to really threaten the La Rochelle line.
Work up, work up.
Power scrum again. Victor Vito feeding out to Balez. Aguillon finds no way through the middle. Good counter-rucking from Morgan.
Stay on, stay on.
Ngovo with a little help from Sazi.
Roll out 2.
Jacob Rowan thought just for a moment he could pickpocket the big Fijian second row. But it's still La Rochelle on the front foot, though the penalty goes against them.
Hey, 6. Entry 3.
Ludlam just getting a little excited there. David Humphreys. What was the message from the DOR? He's seen his Gloucester side come back into games this season already. Conversely, he's seen them lose games which they've dominated the first 40. Memory goes back to the first game of the Premiership season at Kingsholm when Leicester were put to the sword by the Cherry and Whites 24-7. I think they led at the break. And then the Tigers came back to win eventually. 38-31.
6. Are you trying to scrum, is it? Scrum or line?
Quick, one on.
Are you, captain, skipper. Scrum?
Let's go.
Jason Eaton opting for the scrum restart. And with the power that his pack have shown so far, it's understandable. I think John Afoe's needing a bit of attention.
Let's go.
Black tight head. No, in fact, it's going to be changes to the home side. Well, Matt Kvesic, you can see coming on there. Front row changes. Jeremy Marouard and Mohamed Bouganmi replacing that man. Winnie Antonio and Hugo Forbes as well.
You carry on the good work. Stay up.
And you can see Vesic on for Lewis Ludlow into the Gloucester back row.
Crouch.
Just 4 minutes
Bind.
into the second half and already
Set.
a very
stay
different
up.
dynamic to this match. No points since the break.
Taken in, Gray.
James with the clearance. James Hook sends it back from whence it came. Almost.
Advantage.
Oh, Goganmi unable to take that cleanly. And Ben Morgan tries to get Gloucester onto the front foot.
Advantage is over.
Hook with a little kick pass to Sharples. Good handling from Sharples. Had to react quickly there with the man up on him. Thomas. Brayley spots an opportunity to make some headway, and that's a very accurate little box kick from the Gloucester skipper. Bristol boy, of course, Brayley, came across to the other side, as they know it in those parts, to get more game time. And certainly with Greg Laidlaw signing for Claremont for next season, the thought is that it will be Brayley and Hines who are battling it up for the prime scrum half slot next season. Brayley 22, Hines just turned 30. So good options. There's Richie Hibbard.
Penalty 9 not moving.
Advantage is there for Gloucester. They need a score now to push themselves back into this game. Brayley, outrageous dummy bought by the opposition skipper.
Still penalty advantage.
Rolling towards that line.
9 away quicker. Where's the mark? Nine. Okay.
No thoughts of taking the points off the tee. Brayley knows his team need to get the maximum from this attack.
How many? 7, full line.
Rowan with the possession, and Govu coming round, but unable to stop the flow. The forwards muscling up here.
Tackle array, Gray. Release. 7, get out.
Hibbard taking control, taking responsibility.
Held up.
Again, things just breaking up. Jan Thomas certainly seems to have added a bit of spice since his appearance at the break.
Away. Time off, Shield, time off. Captain. Captain. Skipper. Callum, come. Jason.
Good work from Roman
I know
Sazi.
they want to get your jersey sorted out before I can
Turning
allow you time to get
Hibbard
it sorted.
turtle as he came
What I
over.
will say is we've had an incident on this end of the field here where players are getting involved in pushing and shoving, and it's happening again here, okay? It stops right now. Do you understand? And I certainly don't want to see you get involved in it.
I was just trying to play, sir. I was holding in.
Okay, just don't get involved. Do you want to change the jersey?
Oh, I don't know that really.
Yeah? You sure?
Next one.
Time on.
So Gloucester get the chance to go again.
Let's go, yeah!
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Unstable balance for the referee.
We've got to have stability, okay? Come this way.
We've got Manuel Bourgain,
We've got to have
formerly
that stable
Toulon,
and square. Hello.
went to Toulon from Béziers, and he's lasted 1 year into his 3-year contract before moving on once again. With 126 kilos of tight head there.
Crouch! Bind! Set! And hold!
Well, this forward equation certainly seems to have changed a bit since the introduction of the likes of Jan Thomas and Mohamed Bouganmi. Just looking to see, it looks to be a slip on that far side. But it's Bouganmi who's having the finger pointed at him. So, take two, Gloucester line out, 10 minutes into the second half. Galazzo pulls it in.
First man sacked.
Sacked to the ground, so they have to rethink the drive.
Stay on.
Brayley out to Atkinson. Atkinson sets it back again. Opportunity here, and it's taken by John Afoa.
Let's go, let's go.
That's the start the visitors were wanting. Making the possession and position count. The Cherry and White fans in the stands happy with this start to the second half. Speed of delivery, everything, and Afoa coming around the corner with devastating effect. Scored a try against Sale Sharks in round 3 of the Premiership, and now he scored a try against La Rochelle in round 4 of the Challenge Cup. Billy Burns continues his 100% performance from the tee. And now they look at the scoreboard and see 10 points of difference. Mr. Galazzo just aware now of the change of match dynamic. Galazzo actually played for the Cherry and Whites, what, 14 years ago when they came here and came and conquered 12-36. He was replaced at half-time by Trevor Woodman. Now, of course, the forwards coach from Cherry and Whites. Mr. Woodman was sent off in the second half for stamping. So, bittersweet memories for Trevor Woodman. Is this going to be a positive memory?
Inside.
Well, it's the response that his team were looking for. Willie Hines now off the bench at scrum half. Murivalu takes it the second attempt.
Stay there, Yellow, stay.
Jones to Vito. Gloucester not overcommitting to the breakdown there. Bottia gets the offload to Lacroix. One-on-one with Sharples.
Okay.
Hines has to come back for a second dip. Jourdain. Well, players down around the pitch. Lacroix thinks he was tackled heavily. The crowd certainly think that's the case. And I think the officials will have to check back on this. There's Lavani Bottia in for Agrion midfield.
Yeah. Okay. John?
Got you, mate.
What we're checking for, first I just want to check the high tackle, okay?
Yeah.
I've then got a penalty on the 5-metre line for kicking the ball out of a ruck. I just need the number.
Jones
Please.
hurt the man who went a
Yeah,
little
okay,
high. Hines got him on the second attempt. That's when I think the injury was. Well, yeah, Hook's definitely high there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a high tackle.
Yeah, okay. Play that through. I want the number of the guy who comes in the side and kicks the ball out, okay?
Okay, we'll do.
It's 15 with the tackle, is it? Okay. Fine. And then
Play
have you
rolls
said that something
on.
happened here then afterwards? Okay.
Who was it who kicked the
I saw the
ball
number
away?
then, whoever kicks
There's
that ball
Bottia
out.
with the original
I'm
bust.
happy I'm dealing with that tackle, John, I think.
Clark is in
Yeah, we got
electric
to the
form
rack
this
now.
season.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Hey? No, it's where I want the player who comes through and kicks that ball out here.
All right, sure.
Yeah?
It was Matt Scott, I think, who booted the ball there.
Do you have the number there?
Right, it's either 13 or 3. Let's have a look at his face. I can see the face. I can tell by his face. Hang on, bear with me.
It was Matt Scott, I think. Now,
Okay.
remembering what
I just want the number of the guy
Ian
who kicked the
Davis
ball
was
out.
laying
It's
down the
either
law
13 or 3. No, bear with us.
in the
Guys, come
first
here.
half. This could be a yellow card, I think, because it's inside the
Player who
22
kicked
again.
the ball out here, can he identify himself? It's either 3 or 13, okay? We'll be yeah. It's whoever comes in the side here. Next one on.
It's 13. It's 13.
yeah.
13.
Well, finally,
13, come here.
Poirot gets to find the man,
13.
and it is Matt Scott, and it is Scott going to see yellow. Well, that's a run-on from the first half infringements that were mounting up. Callum Brayley, then
Okay,
captain,
John.
was warned
John.
about that.
Simon's just asked to see what happens just immediately after that, please.
Okay, we'll have a look now.
Okay. I think it's the incident that then evolves around on the touchline. We just checking the afters that then happened there, okay, as well.
Simon Rees, the touch judge, assistant referee, I should say, on that far side, wants to look at what happened afterwards. Jason Eaton settling his team down there, you can see.
Nothing there, John?
I can't see anything there. I don't know.
I don't think there was anything too untoward about that. Anyway, penalty goes to
Side,
La Rochelle,
ball out.
and Gloucester down to 14 men for the next 10 minutes.
Okay. How many? Full. Full line.
Vito provides the ball. Jeremy Marouard feeds on. I think that's Ngovo taking possession. And if he gets going forward, there's very little you can do to stop him. But Jan Thomas is doing a pretty good job right now. Good work from Gloucester, in particular from the replacement loose head. Kvesic in there as well.
Eyes about now, the temperature's gone up a bit, all right, Dan? Keep the eyes about now, the temperature's gone up a little, yeah?
I don't know whether you heard the referee there, but
Work hard and stay up.
yes, no question,
other
the
one was good.
temperature has risen a little since the break. So Richie Hibbard being replaced by Motumatu, the Samoan hooker, in the Gloucester front row. But the changes certainly seem to have sparked Gloucester's performance up.
Crouch!
Billy Burns has gone off. Let's just have a look here.
Set!
Henry Purdy the man on, so presumably James Hook will be in at fly half. Let's
Feet have clearly gone, look. Feet have clearly gone. Can I say? The feet has clearly gone, okay?
quarter of an hour into the second half, and 10 points the difference now.
Here we go, action. Come on.
A big test of testosterone and machismo
Fine!
for those 16 players as Willie Hines waits to put the ball into a crucial scrum. It's one against the head. La Rochelle look to the short side. The little dab through, then Lacroix is going to finish off. Gabriel Lacroix gets his second. It's the fourth for La Rochelle, and the fans celebrate the bonus point score. Good awareness from Alexi Velez, the scrum half. The one against the head. catching Gloucester out. Well, just when it looked like Gloucester were forcing themselves back into contention, they're hit not only with the yellow card, but with the 4th try. The fans out in force and loving their evening's rugby so far, that's for sure. 3 tries in the first half, added 2 by that 4th from their dynamic right winger. Brock James, 3 out of 5 so far. Not 3 out of 6. Not the return that he wanted from the tee, obviously, but more than happy with the tries scored so far. Coming up to the hour mark, and La Rochelle forced themselves back in command on the scoreboard. Boganmi doing very well there. In fact, beg your pardon, that was Victor Vito with the take and
It's
set.
inside, it's inside.
And Brock James with
Stay
the clearance.
Time off.
Brock James, 10
Number
years
5 or
at
6?
Claremont. So important. 377 points in his first season, and so many times he was top of the points scorers log in the top 14. Says he being replaced by
Time on.
Leo Serrado. So, how will Gloucester respond to that score?
No, no, you'll play to the floor first.
Willie Hines having to dig that ball out. And you see James Hook stepping up into the fly half roll, a role, of course, he's very accustomed to. That pass from Hines finding the front row of the stands, no chance for anybody in Gloucester's colours. Plazo looking a sight happier at this time this week than he was this time last.
In, come on. Full. Time on.
Jeremy Marois, the former Oyonnax hooker, hits his new skipper, Jason Eaton. The La Rochelle forwards continuing to work their muscle in close quarters, opening up a bit for Boganmi to stretch his legs. Oh, good work from Rates coming off his wing. Murivalu scored the second try. Look at the acceleration from the Fijian, and there's another Fijian to finish it off. That is Lapani Botia, and 5 tries now in the sack for La Rochelle. And when they get working like that, there is very little that Gloucester can do to stop them. Look here as Rates comes off his wing to make the extra man, but that was a mistake by Mark Atkinson not taking Murivalu down. The fullback stretching out and then finding the support of his colleague and teammate, Lapani Botia. Nothing Hines could really do at that point.
Matty.
Sharples did get his man, and then Botia there to finish things off. Scored against Bayonne in the first round of this Challenge Cup, second round I should say. And now adds another against Gloucester, and surely that has put the home side into a totally dominant position now. The strength of the Fijian fullback, and then Botia up in good supporting position.
Time off. He's gone off. I know.
The songs say it all.
Is he coming on, or he...
Huh? No, we got the flank at 12. I'm your second row.
Bit of a shuffle round now. Time on.
Atkinson's game is over. That's Joe Latter on, so how are they going to mix and match this? Purdy and Willie Hines already on, and they've only got 2 backs in that original bench. Mentioned at the top of the game, 6-2 split. So, presumably one of the back rowers, Lewis, well, either Kovacic or Rowan will be moving into the centres.
Okay.
Matt Kovacic may be the one. Just looking to see how they're going to line up. Paul Doran-Jones on for John Arfoa at tight head for Gloucester.
What number was it, Dan?
Into the final quarter of this game.
9, was it?
Numbers.
Yes.
And already
Huh?
Gloucester trying to limit the damage, really, to the way this game has gone. Jason Neaton gets his big mitt in the way of that throw from Mahatu. And once again, the La Rochelle forwards voracious in their appetite. There's Danny Priso, the loose head replacement for La Rochelle, sending the ball back. Brock James looking for the advance down the left flank. Purdy does very well to keep it in, but finds 2 fairly big guards facing him. 2 big Kiwis shutting the door in the face of the replacement winger, but Gloucester now trying to work their position. Where the experience of the likes of Willie Hines and James Hook is going to be absolutely critical.
Oh.
Leaders in this team now have to settle Gloucester back as they look for a rhythm in their attacking game.
That's 1.
Keep going, keep going. Nine.
Great take from Rattez, bundled into touch by Latter and Hines, and again this game comes to a boiling point. Sazin and Kovacic getting to know each other. Take from the left winger, but no way through there as Latter bundled him out. Hines, never let him really get back up, did he? They're trying to rattle La Rochelle. It's not really working when you look at the scoreboard.
Johnny, asked to check something.
Yes, can you check the actions of 21 yellow or red? 19, sorry, 19 yellow.
Yeah, okay.
19. Whether there was a grab around the head as he took him into touch.
Whether he grabs around the head.
Well, it's Joe Latter that they're going to focus on
yeah.
these inspections from the officials. As he came through on Vincent Rattez. Let's just take a look here. Great take from the winger, but He slipped up. Of course, in the new year, that will not be allowed if he touches the head. I'm not sure that he will get to.
John, just where's contact made there? For me, it's a genuine attempt to grasp. I think he slid up behind him, so I haven't got too much of an issue there. What I just want to see is where the contact is aimed with the player going into touch, please.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. His arms actually go down his shoulders, but when he goes up, it's as if he grabs his face. But we'll have a look at it now.
Okay.
Johnny Bell there on the right of picture, the defence coach with David Humphreys behind him. The two Ulstermen just working out what their plan of action is for the last quarter of an hour of this match to try and get something out of this trip.
John, and not to be fair, I don't see much in that. I think it's a genuine attempt to grasp. Are you saying there's something afterwards that happens there?
No, looking at it, his hand actually makes contact with his ear, so it's not.
Okay,
that's
so
fine. We'll just go with whatever it is.
Okay,
yeah.
Fine. Captain. And captain, please. Listen, there's not an awful lot in that, okay? But what I don't want to see, and we've spoken about it once this half already, is things kicking off the ball.
Yeah.
Do we understand?
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah, I just want to play rugby too, mate.
Absolutely, good. Let's go on with it.
Well, Jason Eaton just wants to play rugby, and you can see why when he's already got 5 tries in the bag. Rowan with the focus for the Gloucester forwards. They have to really focus now, keep their discipline, keep their concentration, try and get their game back into gear. You look at the table as it stands right now, and both of these two teams are level at the top of Pool 1, both with 15 points. Both of them have Treviso and Bayonne, of course, to play. Treviso, who completed the double over the French side this afternoon at the Stadio Comunale di Monigo.
What did you say?
And that is where Gloucester will be heading in the middle of January before they finish off at Kingsholm against Bayonne. Other way around, of course, for La Rochelle, but good to see the French side really taking an interest and determination in this tournament.
Option.
Breathe, of course, the other one in Pool 3, heading up Pool 3. Nicolas Gourdignon's side, getting their 3rd win this weekend.
Are you happy?
Yes.
Good.
Hold going!
Paul Doran-Jones in his 2nd spell with Gloucester. Went off to Northampton Saints, had some time at Harlequins, neither of which was particularly profitable. Victor Vito loses the ball. Not sure if the officials saw that knock forward, did they? Obviously not. Ngovo.
Stay on now, stay on. Heads on! Stay, Gray, stay! Hey, stay!
Of course, the winners of this pool will get good seeding, you would think. Certainly up against the likes of the Ospreys, who put 70+ points on Grenoble this afternoon. Grenoble in all sorts of problems, of course, on and off the pitch in this tournament. Not something that they're particularly interested in. Survival in the top 14 is key. Survival as a rugby club is probably an even bigger key. So points could make a difference, and that will be a continual driver for La Rochelle in the last 12.5 minutes of this game. Willie Hines not making good contact with that at all. Ngovo picking up the scraps. An immediate width on it to Jourdain. Feeds out to Lacroix. Gabriel Lacroix into the 22. Botilla. To Bouganmi. You can see the pace that La Rochelle are trying to get into their attacking game. Priso having to resurrect the attack, but it's still there for the home side. Marois getting a fairly high tackle there from Doran Jones, but play continuing. Sodaro, the Argentinian-Italian international.
Back.
Tackle! No,
scored one and made one already this evening. Gloucester just trying to work their host back towards halfway. Jan Thomas has had a storming game since coming off the bench at half-time, forcing the kick from Brock James, but what a good kick that is. Nothing that Charlie Sharples could do about that.
Time off. It's okay.
Well, Victor Vito,
Okay.
regular fuzzball, I was going to say
You must stay 10 meters.
fireball, because
Okay.
he makes everything seem to happen in the loose for
Okay.
La Rochelle. And certainly
Come on,
his
guys, let's go.
introduction this season has added a different dynamic.
He's not interfering.
Gabriel Lacroix
Okay.
looks to have succumbed to that hit that he took earlier on. Was it on his hip? It may have been. Atoretier, ostensibly a scrum half, but comes on into the back line.
Okay, time on.
Zach Holmes. Right for light for Brock James. Well, it's just not working now for the visitors.
Huh?
Got to hold their composure together somehow in these final 10 minutes.
Tight. Tight. Don't let me out.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Again, a power shove from the La Rochelle pack. Vito's footwork is excellent. The ball spins out for Valles. They're going to get the penalty, and it's a penalty try. Well, the way that was driving towards the line, Ian Davis saying that was going to be try number 6. And that's why he's standing underneath the posts, and that's why there's huge applause from this big crowd. Just look at the way this was moving. Vito with the ball at his feet, but then being trampled out of the way by the likes of Galaza and co. And now this is already looking like a very big win for La Rochelle. Zach Holmes adds the extras, but at 42-13, that is going to be a big dent in Gloucester's European ambitions for this season, and a big fillip for the French side. Just destroying the Gloucester pack there. Nothing they could do to stop it.
Second and grey.
Holmes going to be playing in Toulouse's colours next season. Charlie Sharples trying to get something for the Gloucester fans to get excited about.
Taking out the 9.
Through too quickly.
Can be on, taking out the 9.
Gloucester, of course, have another big game next up for them. It's at HQ at Twickenham when they face Harlequins in the big game 9. Lots of players to come back, of course, into this lineup. Laidlaw and Moriarty have mentioned. Billy Twelvetree's being rested from these 2 European games, recovering from a calf injury. But they're going to need to resurrect their belief after this mauling from the French side. Hibbard back on the park for Martu. But Victor Vito again plundering a Gloucester line out. Gutia. Powerful run coming back against the flow. Bogani has seen plenty of ball in hand since he's come on. Sevado.
Push.
Well, the Gloucester side sticking to their defensive task, and the pressure pays off as Matt Kovacic comes through to block the kick from Holmes.
Knock on yellow.
There's a knock on though, and it's allowed Retier to slam the ball clear. Charlie Sharples trying to come back with purpose. Johnny May resets his sat-nav and goes again. In at the side.
Side entry.
Not helping Gloucester's cause.
Okay.
There's Gabriel Lacroix. Try in each half for La Rochelle this evening. Martu obviously struggling with that hit in the last phase of play that's brought Hibbard back on.
Okay.
La Rochelle
How many?
have a trip to Bayonne next up before Christmas.
7.
Basement side are going to be desperate when they get to the Station d'Auger.
Full line.
And then they play Grenoble on New Year's Day. So 2 basement clubs next up for the side in 4th in the top 14 at the moment. Into the final 5 minutes of this game. And what a performance it has been from the home side. Gloucester have had their moments, but have never really been able to build up consistent pressure on their hosts. And Jason Eaton has been able to lead from the front. Victor Vito, a key cog for him. Tia sits Hibbard back. Hines can't take cleanly. May picks up the pieces and goes again. Johnny May gets the call from his old mate Charlie Sharples.
Scrum.
Forward pass from Hook to Savage. Tough going for Tom Savage. Nobody's put more minutes into Gloucester's cause this season than the man from the Hartpury College. Talking about that big game at Harlequins, that'll be his 100th Premiership appearance if he's in the squad. But really has worked hard and not had the gains that he would have been hoping for this evening.
Have a little bit of space.
And for Gloucester, well, they've got to think again. This will be their first loss in a pool game in the Challenge Cup in 24 matches.
Bind.
So they will
Set.
stay as the second best ever winning streak behind Bath's current run of 26.
Stay up.
Last loss was against La Rochelle 6
Not
years
gonna-
ago.
Use it, please. Use it.
And they've repeated the feat
Use
tonight.
it.
Vito with the pick-up and the drive into the 22. Goes the World Cup
Nothing
winner,
there, tackle only.
the double World Cup winner. The little stab through, but good covering from Kvesic.
Taken back. Taken over. It's a scrum 5. Thank you, Dan.
The officials say that it was taken over.
Taken
That
over.
call was from Dan Jones, the assistant referee on the near side.
Spot.
It's going to give another chance
Come on, guys. Let's go.
for La Rochelle for another try. A chance to finish off
Thank you.
on a high in the final 2 minutes of this game. Here's the break from Vito.
Time off.
Good speed from the former Sevens man, of course. Little stab
You okay? Come
through.
on. Rochelle, let's go.
And that's a good call from the assistant referee.
Yeah.
See where
There's a mark
Kvesic's
there,
feet
it's okay.
are when he took
What's
took
that?
possession.
I've seen the replays.
Seconds. Few seconds.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Both sides. Come this way. It's clear. Feet round, yeah?
Big bush is really clear.
And you can see how damp the turf is,
Say that again. Yeah, well, the ground needs to hold your weight as well, mate.
how difficult it is for the studs. Seen a lot of slippage in scrum engagements. Johnny Ngobo, monster operator, 134 kilos
Bind.
for the former Racing Metro man. Penalty try from a similar situation not long ago, not this time, but the ball's still there for La Rochelle, but the ball is dropped short, and it's going to be Kvesic trying to release the backs for one final flourish in this game. Ben Morgan rolling his way out of the 22, pulled down by Charlie Francos, but Kvesic taking things on. Francos comes back for another dip. That Gloucester back line, of course, down a man, or down a back, I should say, with both Atkinson and Burns now off the
Time
park,
play.
along with Brayley. That's 3 backs out, and they only had 2 on the bench. And that is it. It's a great job done by La Rochelle. A half dozen tries, 3 in each half. In Pool 1, it's still Gloucester and La Rochelle on top of the table, but now it is going to go to the final
boys,
2 rounds. Who is going to take the top job, the top seed from Pool 1? A very entertaining game at the Stade Marcel Defrandre. From me, Simon Ward, it's a very good night with a final score that says La Rochelle 42, Gloucester